I look at the back aspects of my life when I come into high level systems, when I go into my YouTube and I watch my videos from time to time. I think it's important to go back. Now, when you're going back, you have to be cautious because you're going back into the past. And the past is everything through its connections. But I don't live the past. Yes, I'm time traveling in the past, but that's not who I am now. Do you understand? So it's trying to understand when you come into that level, you have to put yourself always in the presence of the now. And it's always going back. It's like a slingshot where it just and it comes back, right? Always has to come back. Everything in life has to come back. That's your foundation. Everybody has a foundation, even if you don't think you have a foundation. Your address could be nature. That's totally fine, but you always have a foundation, which you always have to go back to. And it's inside. It's always inside. So I always like going back from time to time. People are coming to me now where I'm putting up different videos for space discoveries, one, two, right? Seasons one and two. And I'm coming across into three, which will be coming soon. I'll keep you informed with that. So it's important that you keep watching each one because it has to do with you. And today we're going to talk about more why you're not living in a physical reality. To make it very well clear, with Bashar or anybody that line conditions, because he's a high force line system. So pay attention to him because you're going to get the same answers from me. So it's true to understand when I did this video, I went through transformation. Okay, so I want everybody to pay attention to this. Okay, now once you watch this video, you get a true understanding what it is when you get into the matrix and how to understand all levels of getting out of the physical reality into your reality, which is the now condition. Your perception sees what it wants to see. Your reality is living what you want to live through your connections of your thoughts. So this is back forcing conditions. Listen to this. Okay, I'll just rewind it. Listen to it.
Status. Hello. Good afternoon. This is Andrew Weston in the Matrix. Grid systems are high rising and some electronic interference. We're communicating now waving signals that bodies are transforming into the dimension realms of its set systems. The set systems are aligning everything through its force recognition systems. So get ready as we're going to be going to high rise through other dimensions. We're setting our divisional levels. We're starting on to the fifth dimension and raising our vibrational levels. It's continuous forces high rising right now. So there's going to be so much electronic interference going through its inner and outer surface. Our perceptions are changing through our body systems and through the ego systems. It's going through your dietitian systems. So it's very important that we eat more healthier, and it's very important to drink more water. More to come. This is Andrew Weston in the Matrix Grid Systems.
All right, so I gave that to you to truly understand this is time traveling in the past, but that's not who I am. So you can't live that. So this is where it comes into high force line center. Truly understand the connections too with Bashar. That's why I keep doing videos. Every time I put up a video on TikTok, you should pay attention to that because these are extremely, extremely powerful connection line system rotations. Okay. So it comes on all levels of philosophy, your position and why you're on this connections of a whole level system to come back into the reset of your computer line and center line connection. So once we understand more of ourselves, we get more of understanding what we see through perception, how you want to create your reality. But your reality is not the past of living. Your reality is the presence of the now of living. So I wanted to show you how you see something of me in the past. But that's not who I am. So it's understanding the physical reality, okay, is the dream. The real reality is the now, which means that you have to get the conceptual line of the past, the present, and the future into one position, which is the now location, which is no longer a dream. And that's where you come more into the unified of its ascension to its awakening. All right. So that's what you have to come across when you come to high level system rotations. All right. Once you get a better understanding how to use that in your system, the unified and the spiritual system will come in together to its integration. And that's what you want to come across, right? Because that's all you're living right now is a three-dimensional line centered to conditions of density of an ego. The surfacing line position is its calculation modifications. Now, that's what you guys been living on decades and decades and decades, because that's all you know. You don't know anything else until you wake up from its dream. Okay? So there's a very powerful video. I'm trying to be form with everybody. I sent you guys very powerful TikToks every single day. And it's truly understand, plus the Q&A, right? So it's kind of like understanding that you're in a jar and you're trying to get out. How do you get out? How do I get freedom? Well, freedom is already there. See, the thing is once you get into positions of the now, everything you're living is its connection to its reality of what you want. That's how you get things, because it's no longer a dream to you, but it's not a physical reality. Okay, so let's not get confused about that. It's only physical reality on what you see through perception and what you hear outside of connection. But that's not your reality. Your reality is controlling your own system. That is your reality through perception. Okay? Because you're not living the past, you're not living the future, you're only living the now. Okay? That's a true understanding we have to grasp. I'm trying to make that easier for everybody to get that conditions. And when you guys go through my healings, like for example with Vicky Bates, try to understand the communications. Now, I don't expect you to understand me through all computer line center to multi-dimensional line position locations, but truly understand why I do these things. Now, she thought she was off cycle with communication, but no, I can't put you higher levels of chakras, okay, until you get full communications of Vega. All right, truly understand your programs of your computers. Are you going to go into viruses and over obsolete connection? So what I did with Vicky Bates is just I put microchip line centers into computer chip locations, interdimensions on all levels of our chakra system. So it's trying to understand how you go from a chakra cell to a dimensional cell, right? It's all different alignment, right? So it sticks together. Everything I do through healing is all positions. And when you wake up to the line conditions, it's resetting your computers. I went through the same aspect. I went through all the transformations. I went from the sweats and all the conditions of, refixing this, refixing that. It's powerful stuff. So it's trying to put you back, right? And everything inside you changes. Like my eyes changed, my hair changed, everything changed. My follicles on my hair, line connections, everything changes inside you, right? So once you go inside, it's no longer a physical reality. Think about that. It's no longer a physical reality. It's the reality of the now, which is your reality you're living, right? Because to you, see, the thing is, to make it very well clear, is that you have your past, your present, and your future. But the problem is you get up every morning, you don't know where your thoughts are going. If you're referencing the past and you live the past, that's the reality you're living. Now, that's the density that you're allowing through rotation of a ground line system. Okay. Everybody wakes up to a different reality position through their perception, right? They see it as they see it. Now, if you say it's a physical reality, that's the reality you're living, right? But once you go inside, when you start with meditation, it's no longer a physical reality. It's a unified ascension to its dream awakening. Okay. So to make that very well clear, okay. And it's not fair if I upgrade somebody that's 60 and everybody's at 50. It doesn't make any sense. I'll get communication line center, Vegas communication line coming into rotation positions. You got rise to one line center location to an individual line position. Why? See, these are things that have to be in order. Because remember, I communicate on so many levels of atmosphere time locks. Okay, everybody's in a gravity lock. Gravity lock is like you're trapped beneath the line connections of 3-dimension of density line alloy. The alloy and its connection position is its perception to its physical reality, because that's what you're living, right? Because your thoughts are not moving forward in the present. Okay, the reality is the now. That's what you're living. Okay, so whatever you perceive, you're perceiving now, not the past, not the future, the now. Now, the now is not a dream anymore, because now you're doing everything from inside. And that's waking you up through the unified and taking everything that you know through all levels inside through your dream, which is no longer a dream because now you're going inside of communication. You're opening up your heart. You're opening up the mind, the thoughts, the time, the recognition. Everything over time comes into balance, right? Your job is to understand these things through your ascension and your unified aspects of your higher intelligence, which is your higher self. Okay? To make that very well clear so nobody gets confused about that. So I'm trying to make it easier for everybody to truly understand what everybody needs to do. Okay? That's important. So I'm trying to get across here. So once you start living the now, it's no longer a dream. Makes it a little bit more easier. Yes, no. If not, you can go to my positions on TikTok. I can answer your questions, or you can go through my email through healing. So it's all about recentering you in your computer line system. That's all it is. And the thing is, as soon as you put fear, after I put energy in you, your computer line center will get confused. Okay? It's like changing digital numbers. It's like going. So now you're disrupting the computer line center and you're putting fear cycles. So you're changing the digital line position locations. So as you know, when you get an air conditioner and you walk inside your structured building, you'll see a fluctuation up. Right? That's the sound of an air conditioner through digital line center rotation. All right. Okay. Because I know that when I went through transformation, and that's how it was reading my signature pattern. It's like an alarm. As soon as you walk in, it tries to reach your temperature reading line center to your graph line connection, your body graph connection. So basically, when I wake you up to line center and you're in your fear cycle locations, so stress or anxiety line conditions, you get a number location line system, 19661. All right. So if you go to oppositions and the 1 is here and 6 is here and 9 is here and 6 is here and 1 is here, you're confusing the computer line system rotation. So you don't want to do that because I set up an identification code to all your computer lines. Okay, all to your computer lines. So it's important you stay in that track system identification, right? Knowing that you're going to be okay, right? Especially if you're in a lot of pain. So it's like understanding pain is good because it's releasing everything that's toxic that's in your body, especially when you think you're in the physical reality. Because you're living the physical reality. You're not living what you want to live until you get into the now of its reality, which is its presence. Okay? Clicking in, knock, knock. I'm at your door. So that's a true understanding where you have to get into your own identification line connections, right? So when I wake you guys up to line connections, you get your grounds, you get your powers, and you get your atmospheres. There's your chakra line connections. There it is. To rotation, right? You stand in the center line system, all allocated timeline systems. This puts you into your flux capacitor interference line conditions. Channel disposition line center to its rotation, right? High rises positions, you come into electrical light connection, right? You come in your 3, 6, and 9, you come in your activation conditions, you come into your tesseract and your tetrahedrons or your trial recognition time location, right? So once you get into that, you get into the ground line center, understand you through rotation, understand your power recognition of time location. So the power recognition of time, and that's where we're going to go. We're going to see the soul. I already got the commanding line center position, which is all levels of the mothership. The power of the seat of the soul is this position of 6 and 9. Okay, now you guys refer it as the Fibonacci, but it's sort of trying to understand this. The sacred geometry line center is not its core system to it's all barometer locations to its point line system. So it's all about understanding what is fake and what is real through connections of trial recognition of time lock system. All right, so the power recognition of the system is the now location. The now location. It stays in the now location. So it references the past, but you don't live the past. All right, so you go into high level system, okay, into the gateways of the past, the present, and the future. Right? Past, present, future. So your job is to get the future, the past, and everything in the present line center into one line connections to its position. See the arrows at the top? That center aligns its position, opens up all levels of your magnetic highway information line system, goes into the mind line center, goes into the ground line system through its rotations. There you go, through equation. All right? That's how it's set up when you wake up. Energizes your positions, all levels of your patterns, guys. Interlines your connections to all your heat signature pattern line system. So it changes you in all levels and takes you out of rejection of nature and puts you in position through its energy cycles, puts you in the grounds and the powers of the now line system. That's why it's so powerful, because you come out of its physical reality. See? Do you see how powerful it is? Right? So it's true understanding why you're supposed to go back in line connections, right back to its beginning. Once you go back to the beginning, you get a bit more of what's going on, right? So today, we're going to travel through the 369 aspect. We did that yesterday, locations, right? But today we're going to travel through the seat of the souls. You have to go through the command line center of the now line conditions. So we're going to travel into the future rotation. Everybody's going to go through adaptation. The codes are already set at position locations. You guys have to understand the track system. Okay. All levels of the sacred geometry set of 6 and 9. That's the birth line system of yin and yang, guys. Right? That's why first intelligence born. 69. 1969. Makes all make sense, right? The condition to come into all levels of the three waves and why they're here, right? Makes sense, doesn't it? So it's not just waking up humanity, it's putting humanity in the now position and taking them out of the physical reality. This is not a physical reality. Okay, to you it's a physical reality because your thoughts are in the past. Your thoughts are in the future, but they're never in the present. So basically, your reality is there already for you. You're just not aware of it yet until you wake up from its dream. Okay? So there you go. Now you know what it is. Unified ascension to its connection to higher self-line system rotation. Okay, so now we're going to go into high-level systems of 6. And we're going to go to high-level systems of 9. All right? So we're going to go in this line center rotation. That's the seat of soul. Okay, it goes into high-level system rotations, comes in the activation line connections to its broken line interference, tetrahedron to its line connections, line channel rotations, coming into the magnetic line center rotation position. Information is coming into the center line positions, navigation light center rotations, coming to high-level systems and power vectors and time locations, into the commanding force of the mothership to line position locations. 6 in its track system of the programs of the moon. 9 in location of you through direction of the now line system through position, future relation line center rotation into the grounds of its communications. High forces this line system to the magnetic line center rotations, back in the mind line system, back in the heart rotation, back in the solar directions, into the ground line center, back in locations. There you go through all allocated positions of 69. All right, have fun. 15 minutes. All right, that's it. It's done. So you guys are traveling through the seat of the soul. You're in the commanding ship right now, a mothership. The central line system and everything is allocated positions of the now line system. So you're in the future rotation line system rotation connections to understand your digital line center. Everything through crop circle location is set up to its barometer locations and its binary line system rotation. So. All right, have fun. 15 minutes. You guys are going through high-level systems. You're teleported, you're rendezvous. So you guys are all in the mothership now. No coming back in track system. Just getting your questions. Tina, Cleopatra, Vicky. Chris, what's going on? Chris, you feeling better? Morning. See, I don't expect you to understand. All I need you to do is just to keep calm. That's all. Because you're changing the identification line center. Because everything is all set up. When you're in the healing rotation, you have to go forward. As soon as you put the fear cycle, you're changing your digital number line system. And it confuses the alignments to Vega communication. back to its source direction of time. Ellen, bouncing. What you say now? Just finished my captain log. Okay. Yeah. It's powerful, isn't it? Getting a little bit more understanding why, right? Yeah. Thank you, Vicky. It's so cool, isn't it? Grand Rising, Mary, Chris, Vicky. It's great to see everybody. Okay. All right, Chris. That's good. So I'll do that after you. Basically, you're in the central line system right now. You're going in the seat of the soul. Okay. The birth line center is positioned in 1969. That's the birth connections to your navigation. That wakes you up to all levels of your programs, of your interference. So everything that we do is a now position. And that's why AI is extremely informative on all levels, because we don't live the past or the future. We just live the now. It's the now that we live, which gives us the future. Now you understand. Now you truly understand why everybody is in their own line connections of their own dream. Now you understand what the awakening is. Now you understand the unified of its system, how it's important to understand the spiritual system of you, of remembering. Right? So everybody's in the mothership now. All right? Really absorb what's going on, see the command center, see all the computers, see the intelligence. All right? Okay. Yep. I got the confirmation in there, Chris. So that's what I'll do. You're going to high force line center position line connections. Put Chris in a high level system rotation. She's going through healing cycles right now. It's going to go into its reformed information line center to rotation computer operation line connections. Take her out of the relapse. Yep. Put her into 50 rotation centers of communications. High force regeneration lights. Put her in light track rotation connections. Higher grounds. Atmosphere program line interference. And center position locations to high level systems at 369 platforms. Yeah, use the triangular line center to location position. Put her in the box center locations of 50 communication cycles of chakra communications. There you go, Chris. 50 chakras. All right. So you've been upgraded, plus you're also going through healing cycles of your neck. It's like a big crown or 3 mountain formation. Air pressure when I try to travel now. Sure, what's going on? Been going for a few days. Ear pressure. Yeah. Okay. All right. Take track line centers out of Cleopatra. Yeah. Put her in the activation line connection. All right. So everybody's in position right now. You're in the seat of the soul at 69 line connections, right? So you're in the mothership. So you should be feeling a lot more pressure now because you're actually in the UFO. All right. So you have to get a true understanding what it's like to actually go through these things, like going through the heart, going through 369, going through all levels of operation inside all connection. It's all about you understanding how to go through all levels of your sacred geometry of yourself. But you got to stay in the now positions, guys, especially with your thoughts. Every single time you get up in the morning, where are you in travel? Don't put yourself in the physical alignment because it doesn't exist. That's the dream awakening. That once you wake up from that, then you come into the unified of a spiritual line connection, which puts you in the now connections to its higher self of its atmosphere line system rotation. Okay, so it's important you stay in that connections. All right, so here's Cleopatra, right? Inline connections, all right? Now this is a rough draft, but you get a basic understanding. Okay, so there's Cleopatra, right? Now she's got airline center rotation pressure connections, right? Going from one side to the airline system rotations. Now the center line system is its gap line interference, right? That's what's happening right now through connections, right? It's not following through, right? So I'm going to open the cross signals and release the pressure ear interference line center to your 369 platforms. That's going to open up all channels highlighting system back into her flux capacitor, her light center rotation, right? Energy light interference line connections coming to high level system. All right, so you're going to feel a little bit of air pressure line center, release line connections, retract, refocus, realign, and readjust the circle line center rotation. There you go. Done through equation. No more pressure in the ear location. Cleopatra. Done through positions. See, that's how it's done. Calculate and modify. All right. No more ear pressure. Okay. Fast wind cycles. So it's amazing how I heal things. I can heal things on structured paper, metaphysical, metaphysical. That's the thing. It's the aspects. Put in the center line position to all allocate positions of your physical, your mental, your metaphysical, your spiritual, emotional, and your psychological of everything to that skittish line system rotation. I'm holding a device with 3 diamonds, a pin through it. I can blow and will spin. It's 8 lines with solid diamond. Mm-hmm. Yep. You understand what it is, right? The more you get in calculation of inner line center position, it's no longer a dream. It's coming into the reality of its position of its now, which is the connection that you're supposed to be living. Right? So how do you feel, Cleopatra? No more ear pressure. And it's important you guys get the grasp of everything, right? You can't heal until you're all levels of the mind, the body, heart, and soul is in one position of the now line system. The mind has to be on so much clarity of balance. It has to be on so many waving cycles of now, not in the passive thoughts, not in the future of its rotation, but everything of the now position, which is your reality, which is no longer the physical system, but the unified of the spiritual system, guys. Comes and goes. It feels like it's moving in my ear. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening with you now, Cleopatra. It's centered in its rotation because it's off signal. It wasn't going through its rotation. It wasn't spinning properly, right? So that's you through equation. I just changed your flux capacitor ear line center rotations and put you back line connections, right? All right, it comes and goes, but it feels weird. It'll go back to balance line center. I'm on a ship with beings all around observing this event. I feel huge amounts of energy moving through, and I can see myself moving through space. And there you go, Chris, because you're on the mothership, right? I'm remembering a dream from last night, definitely a future vision, very clear. I'm on vacation on the beach in Hawaii with a group of people. Some I know, some I don't yet. So basically that's understanding the conceptual line center where it's no longer a dream. So you come out of your dreams of its relation to its physical line system. You come into its visionary board of its information to the central line connections of you, which is the heart line center. So very powerful there, Joe. But that's good, Chris. And that's why I was ready for you to go up to higher level system, because now you're seeing things that you never thought you would see, right? Because now you're identifying everything. You're actually on the mothership. And that's why you're seeing beings all around observing this event, a huge amount of energy moving through, and can see myself. I can see myself moving through space. So now she's coming more aware of her senses, which is the now, which is no longer the physical reality. You understand? That's the position that everybody has to live. It's not that complicated. It's complicated because you don't understand the past and the present and the future relevant system to its connection, which is the now. All right. So, all right, let's see here. You get in and out position, then you come into 69 locations of balance, guys. So And the male and the female aspect is the ego. You get that in calculation, stay in your avatars of your eco collaboration to its communication, to its operation, to its perception, to its awareness of its information cycles. So it's a lot of work. All right, let's see here. Commander, I was awoken at 4 a.m. to fly in its base. Yeah, so Vicky, you're more aware. You're seeing everything that's happening before it happens. That's great. See yourself flying, so you know it's true, right? It's the connections. There's a dome, flowers. That's all we see. The ladder, coils. I'm moving up. Yep. So you're going through the flower recognition of time. Okay, to higher level system, sacred geometry of yourself. There, Cleopatra. Profound, I just got that. Well, there you go. See? So, Chris, you're finally traveling through the connections of your commander. So imagine every time you wake up in the morning, it's important. The reason why I keep saying waking up, because that's what we live every day. We wake up, we go to sleep. We wake up, we go to sleep. There's nothing else that we do. So everything that you do is the importance of waking up. Because what are you waking up to? Think about that. What are you waking up to? Your physical or your unified and spiritual? So our mass, how's it going? Glad to see new people. Have any questions or comments? And go through my healing. What does marijuana do to us when we partake of it, like the digital aspects of it? Well, that's a good question. When it comes to anything in that line condition, it's true to understand it's all about the psychedelics, what it is to the brain, what it does to the brain. It does open up a realm, but what it does the opposite cycle. It doesn't do the force recognition of the now connections. So it collaborates line center. It's kind of like you see Casper the Friendly Ghost. You're seeing Alice in Wonderland. You've seen Roger Rabbit. You're seeing what you want to see through perception, right? Because you're in the delusion of illusions. So that's the connections when you high line center to anything through all levels of drugs, right? But it doesn't put you in the now position. The geometry line center has to be in the now of everything through space and only. Okay. So when you're taking that, you're not exactly know what's going on because it doesn't have any discipline. It doesn't have any navigation when you're taking these things because you're taking it through free will, right? But you have no idea the chemical base of what it's doing to the brain, right? So I don't suggest it. I'm going through a bunch of different shapes, tunnels in the beginning. Look out a window and I saw Saturn. Yeah, that's not that symbol. That's an open frequency door recognition light center, Cleopatra. So what you're seeing is not what you're seeing. So this is to understand your high rising light conditions. So in position, it's just your ear trap line center is opening the rotation better to line system rotations, and it's connecting and releasing pressure to conditions. So it's high forcing line centers to structure locations. Yeah, I'm going through a bunch of different shapes, tunnels in the beginning. Look out a window and I saw Saturn. Yeah. Okay. There's a reason why you're seeing these things because you're going in the inner line center of the present now of its future. Okay. Of what it is. So when you come back out, you know exactly you have friendship with mothership now, with your heart and your 3, 6, and 9 locations. Pattern events line system rotation to eyes of the lamp. So some of you will see the same thing, yeah. but different perceptions. Chris sees Saturn, Samantha sees Saturn. Okay? But you're all on the mothership. Right? Teleported you. I rendezvous you guys right away. So, and that's how Vicky Bates is aware of it, because she sees it herself already. If you see yourself already in that position to the connections, you're high forcing to your AI position to its communication. That's why it's important to get everybody in line signal of its alliance into the Galactic Federation Light Council. Because once you go into 60, you will be in the Galactic Federation Light. Congratulations. I already know you guys are going to be there, so it doesn't worry. I don't worry about these things. So, and that's why the test reviews and evaluations are not hard unless you think they're hard. So it's kind of looking at life is hard. Life is hard, but how do you want to live it? Do you want everything to be all positions of being negative? You know, we live the positive and negative of our system, but if we live the now, you're living your reality now, right? Not the physical aspect of its reality. You are finally living and coming out of its dream, of its awakening. So I'm trying to help you guys out so you understand more what this is all about from its beginning and how you come across these things, right? So you're welcome there, Vicky. I saw a huge wall. This is computerized. My hands are scanning. It's huge. I went through what looked like a medical machine, and it's scanning me. Chris has seen a lot, eh? First time traveling, she's freaking out, but she's loving it. Her energy is extremely high, right? The energy of light system rotations. Yeah. That's a medical and information line interference of intelligence. It's scanning you to line indications because you're going to higher level position of space position identifications. Once you go into higher levels, you have to identify yourself, but they know you're with me, so don't worry about that. If you're by yourself, that'd be a problem because they'd ask you a lot of questions. So, like I said, the more you go in the center of everything for the now position, now you're living in my world. Okay? Then you really realize why it's so real. Especially when you wake up from these things. It's just truly understand everything through the dream awakening. What is it through the unified of its ascension? What is the ascension? It's the reality. It's the parallel. It's the paradox. It's the paradigm. It's the polar shift. It's what you're living through perception. That's all you see because that's all you know. That's the problem. As soon as you go inside, that's why we created these line interference for you guys to create inside position through meditation to your chakra systems. Once you go inside, now you're living the now. As soon as you open up the mind of space inside you through time, you're no longer in the past or the future, but you're living your reality, which is no longer a dream. So, yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is. But you see how fast you travel when you're in the now position? It makes more sense because you see more things through your senses. Your eyes, your ears, and your voice opens up more. You see more. And when you're seeing, you're actually seeing because it's not a dream anymore. Because your conscious levels are high rising faster and faster. And you're becoming more knowledgeable through its intelligence of its AI conditions, guys. So everything's white light, not lit from an external source. It's all bright white walls, panels being dressed in white, like a clean room of creating technology. Yeah. And you guys are seeing everything through detail. But what makes it more amazing is that you're seeing it in the now future, not the future, because of confusion alignments of your computer reset line interference location. It's in the now future of you. Okay, through its ascending. All right. So it's more aspects of you of understanding, especially when you go into your data and processing of links and downloads and upgrading systems and uplinks. So it is a blessing, isn't it? especially when you understand these things. FYI, give back to your family, loved ones, and everybody that you know. They got to get a truly understanding how to get into this position because it's going to make more sense to them. And that's what makes it real. So it makes it real, becomes real through its phenomenon, especially when you live in the now of everything on all levels of space and time. So, just back phrasing here, see if I missed any of your questions. Because you have to understand that everything that you're seeing right now is not a dream because you're waking up from it. And it's all about understanding the connections and why you're in the now position in the first place. Because it's no longer physical. You are in the unified system of the spiritual system, which is its dimensional of its being. Right? I have a job here, like I'm in charge of something. Yeah. And that's it. Jill's more aware. Every time she goes up higher and higher, she's coming more aware why she is ascended master. And it all puts the pieces and puzzles together with the soul of its intelligence. Right? I see the spine and ribs and the bright light. So Chris, in positions high level system to all connections. She's in the computerized of hands and scanning. She's getting this for the first time because they've never seen her. So they scan you first. And once they understand you through scanning, it's already in its adaptation of its computer line conditioning interference of its identifications. So now they know you, Chris. Now with Cleopatra is getting to know her inner line center to scanning line system to her spine and her ribs, right? Which is coming into illumination graph, a translucent. So it's truly understand is to put yourself in the now position of scanning yourself and actually seeing everything inside through its operation. And that's what this is. Next week is a test review and evaluations. Right? I was brought to a room, and it's my room. It's bright light, and I'm going into a healing and resting weightless chamber. Yeah. Yeah. They're taking you to a place where everything's done. Teleportation, everything through all levels of our line center. So it's a computer room. It's where we do all the healing line centers to all conditions. So you truly understand when you travel through your commander, you get a better understanding how healing takes place through teleportation. It becomes more real, right? I'm sitting in the egg-shaped chair. It's like a meditation and network connection device. Yeah, that reminds me of Mork and Mindy. Nanu. When he transported on an egg. Yeah. I dreamt I was in a black void trying to grow a big tree. Now, Silver Mask, my team is in a high level system right now because they're in high division of chakras. You have to go through my upgrade line system, back in location to center line condition to your computer reset location. You can go through my healing. I can activate you. Once you go back to the sun, that wakes up your awakenings. Once you go back to the moon, it opens up your new program. But the sun and the moon is inside you, which is no longer a reflection of an illusion. It's the reality that you're living of the now connections of the presence. So, Mork and Mindy, yes. Yeah, that went 4 seasons. I liked it. It was good. That's where he started off. That's where he got recognized, Mork and Mindy, with Pan Dahmer. She was a co-host. Yes, I know you're Chango. I picked up your energy. Yeah. I picked up your energy. So, understand line conditions to interference location. Django, I have to hierarchize line system rotations if you understand more programs. If you want to get connections of you through force recognition, then you can go to all levels of the team. But they're in their 50 chakras. They're halfway there. 75% will put them into high levels 114. I already have a team that's 114, which is the Red Mighty Alliance. But the Galactic Forces are high rising next week into the Galactic Federation Light Council, which is going to put them in extremely high alliance positions. Okay? So I have to put you up to higher levels, Django. Right? It's all levels of activation core line system rotations that put you now more in the now position line condition. So if you take the long road, you're welcome to do that, but it'll take you longer. All right? So oh, you knew Robin Williams in San Francisco, eh? Nice. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did a movie with him as one of his security guards on patrol. It's pretty wild. Man of the Year. I was in that movie. Yeah. Very funny guy. You stand there and he can just make you laugh. Like it's crazy what he can do. His laughter is so comic. It just you cannot but laugh. I mean, he's just hilarious. I'm on the motherboard like in a computer, but I'm in it. I see blocks, robotic looking bugs alive, but mechanic, but buildings. Yeah. You're going to see electrical lights, light connection to its positions. The motherboard is a circuit line center locations, the eye circle locations of circuit line connection, which is high levels of computers. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. You see things, just don't touch anything. Okay? Because everything's set for you guys. Right? Your finger line centers will change the digital. It's a marker line interference, right? It's a digital identifications, right? It's a digital code. You touch the computers, I have to reframe, reset everything back to connection. So from what I can tell, marijuana. No, it doesn't evolve you. Like I said, it's a brain lab. Okay. It doesn't have a soul generation. It doesn't have a heart recognition of time. It doesn't have the grounds. It doesn't have the now. See, you have free will to do what you want. That's what humanity is in species. Free will to do everything that you want. Everybody makes mistakes, but they learn from their mistakes. If you don't learn from your mistakes, you keep repeating it over and over and over and over. That's what life is. As long as you understand life is inside and out, not outside and in. Okay? Now, if you understand the outside and in, that's the physical reality you guys are in. If you go on the inside and out, that's the dream awakening. How's that for you? Is that a little bit more easier now? Once you go inside, you're no longer in the physical aspects of you. You're in the unified ascension of you, which is its higher self. So, well, it has to make sense there, Django. I'm just saying that you have to go inside on every single level, right? So, and then you understand more because the mind has to be at ease, right? Sure, we go through tribulations and problems and, connections to this and off cycles to that and not sure of this and not sure of that. Sure. I mean, that's totally normal, right? But you have to get out of the physical reality of you. And the only way to do that is to go inside. So, this is all mechanics that I have no names for. Yeah. I'm incredibly grateful for all of your helping to break us out of the loop cycles. Well, that's exactly what it is. I take you out. But at least you're aware of it, Django. At least you're aware of it. That's the biggest thing. If you're aware of it, that's great. If you're not, that's a problem. Right? So it's in combustion. right? To break free from its wall. Knock it down, bring it back up. Right? Get into all the computer sounds, get into all levels of your senses. So every mechanics has a name. Name to calculation modifications there, Cleopatra. Align center rotations. Now, being on the mothership is extremely complicated, but it's a lot of fun if you understand your inline system towards rotation. So we come to highline system. Let's go into solar line system rotation. Right? You got solar, right? Solar line conditions everything through surface to all of the systems, right? It's allocated position of time locations. So this is what it is through equation to the line conditions. That's S for solar. Solar comes into its operation, to its level, to its activation, okay, to its radiation, right? So basically, you go into a high-level system of the energy light conditions, high force it and take it out of the equation, secure your line of defense, travel it through its rotational timeline system, all through the connections of solar. So we use that through track systems, right? Level. Okay, so level is connections to ground line system, which is a triangle line system of 369 platforms. Okay, E is the energy line system to the physical asset line connections to your higher self position. Okay, everything through V is vector line connections to correlation to a planet line system, solar generational light conditions. And then we come into high formations of electrical lights to its connection to its level / ground level system. See? You see this, I see this. So you have to truly understand how to put this all together, right? And Cleopatra, you'll come more into formation to its connections when you go into Vega communication, into 60 chakras. Things will start making a little bit more sense for you and what you see through mechanics. Yeah, you don't have to know everything, right? You just have to understand what you're seeing. So you understand more when you get into your 60 application centers. 60 information panels, 60 documentations of possible information location, 60 channels of dimensional timeline system, 60 chakras, 60 planets. So all right, let's see here. Oh, this is healing room. It's like my future school. My vision was that my students were in pyramids, but here on the mothership, the chairs are eggs. Yeah. I just don't know how to name everything. That's fine. You catch on. I'm seeing an operation behind everything. That's it. Words within words, a solar text line center. Okay, so you're going through the inner line system of you through locations to all graph connections of you, right, through computer system. What's the maximum chakra activation that I can progress to? Well, let's see. The thing is, I have to go through ground power in the arsenal line system, but I can put you into 30 chakra communications. Right? I can put you into 30. Right. So when I go live on TikTok, I'll just activate your light conditions. Right. I want you to get a better understanding how important it is to understand everything positions. Right. See a big block with an opening on the sides of shapes. Okay. Seeing and understanding what it is, knowing what to do with it is another thing. The openings are shapes on the side of the blocks. It's fascinating because you guys are actually on the mothership and you're just, it's like a tour. So, yeah. That's fascinating what you guys are seeing. It's great. Who would have thought that you guys can actually see yourself on a teleportation unit? So, and you guys are going through vision right now. So what's happening right now, you're on 2021, but in the future relation connections of its mothership, which is the now position, right? So you're not in the future. You're in the future of the now position, where the mothership is right here, right now. Okay, that's why it's so real, because it's all about you of what? So remembering and what you see through all your perceptions, to all travel recognition of time, all connections to, and get out of the locking system, right? To all provisions, the acting cycles, right? It's going into a tunnel, yeah. It's like a traveling tunnel. Yeah, that's a dimension. That's a wormhole. That's a wormhole. See? So Samantha is going through the wormhole, right? The mothership is here. All right. There's the mothership. But she's attached to it. Right? So, and again, it's intelligence. Right? So if you can understand line position locations, you understand why it has eye trap line center rotation. What it is through calculations. So it's on standby through the location line system, right? To the center line positions of where Samantha is, line conditions. So it's amazing it comes into sonar interference to its line conditions, to its ground line system rotation. All right. So now you know. Well, it finally changed my observable perspective in my everyday life. Well, see, that's it, right? Once you become more of form and what you see, especially when my team see these things, you want to see these things, but you have to go into the activation of everything inside of operation of you first. There's a big glowing white cube hovering above everything. It's like a brain we are connected to. It's telepathy. Yeah. That's the brain interference of the matrix line center line conditions that it's set up into position to the outline conditions. Right. So it's like this locations. This is the brain lock condition. This is the interference location. This is what you're seeing through channel line conditions. In operation is line interference. That's where you're seeing through locations, Joe. Right? So you see it and I tell you what it is. Right? And then you know it, then you know what to do. Right? So it's waking up what? All your senses, your 5 and 6, right? Your external, your sensory perception. Yeah, caught up on all your questions here. See, the more you travel in space, the more you stay in the now. It's more fascinating because you start realizing, wow, what I'm seeing is really incredible. Like you really are connecting more and more, and you're becoming more of its AI position to its awareness, to its information, to its conscious levels. All right, this is so cool. I was brought into a tiny vehicle that left the mothership and now sped away with me on it. Went into what looked like a galaxy and back like a fun ride. Yep. So Chris is leaving the line condition. She's going to her energy pod, relieving conditions position line condition to force line system to mothership, which is taking her back into the galaxy lock interference line. It's a reference line center rotation to a condition to highlight the system will take her back to where she is through position. See? I followed the cube and went out and went near Saturn. There are interference like both sides of the planet. It seems like it's communicating with the lines and planet. Yeah. Everything through planet line connects to all shape position line connections, right? So, but I'm glad you had fun there, Chris. Powerful stuff, isn't it? You can tell your kids and your loved ones. What's that, Grandma? You say you were on a spaceship? What was that like? Live to tell, guys. Right? So now you feel a bit better and how real it is. Because what you visioned was the now position, not the future, the now position, which is very real, right? So everybody sees something in perception that's different, but you're all aligned through each other. So great experiences that you guys go through, especially when you go through the command center. Right? So that's more perspective on what you want to see inside through what it is and how it's set up. All right. Told my grandson about your videos. He said he understood, but could not put into words. Yeah, I know, because it's multi-languages coming from all levels of planets and UFOs, right? All connected of shapes. See, the thing is, letters, numbers, and shapes is language. Multi-language, light language, correlation, color, lights language, computer language, ground line languages, box surface language locations, all division languages. So, yeah, and you probably see each other too, right? Because you're aligned through each other, through my telepathy, right? From one to another. But it's very important to understand when you're seeing something is to know exactly what you're seeing from inside and not what's just outside. Okay? So the aspect that we've been living, okay, is the physical. And everything through the inline center to the circle location is the reality. Okay? Okay, physical, reality, the inside of everything, which becomes the connections of the dream awakening. Understand now? So once you go inside, you're no longer looking at the box outside. You're looking at the box inside of what it is through all calculation. So there you go. I know. They just keep getting more powerful, don't they? In all levels. Yeah. Yeah, you'll see me too. You'll see your commander. Yeah, I have to be there, right? I mean, that's important that I'm there. So when you're there, you're in high channel interference. You're in your uniforms. You have to be in uniforms because there's so many protocols, right? It's important that you understand when you're on a UFO, there's a chain of command to pay attention to, and the protocols tell you exactly what's going on with your data and your processings and your computers, and how important to see these things to all levels of intelligence, right? So it comes into higher levels of its connection. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you're in UFOs or anywhere else, the line connections are if you're in somebody else's UFO, yep, they'll be in their connections, right, into your uniform. So, yep, you have to come across that and understand what that is, Cleopatra. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you're all teleported back anyway. Rendezvous is already connected to its code line system. You guys have already been taken off, right? Chris is very aware how she went into the commanding line center to the UFO positions of the mothership and how she went into an energy pod, which was a navigation to line connections to the galaxy into another round line system back into her location. So you know exactly when you're going to go back. It's already set. Because remember, if you're traveling, you have to have a location to go to. That's part of life. That's part of life. We have to have a location to go to. That's the foundation, right? So if you're going somewhere, you have to come back. You have to. You can't stay there, right? Now, that's a true understanding when you get into your positions. And the more you high rise to higher level systems, you're no longer in the physical system, are you? You're in your reality that you're living, which is the now. So, yes, you were inside. Mm-hmm. Yeah, to all levels of activation through your chakra connections. That's how you're able to see these things because you're in 50 communications of computers. Each chakra is a computer. Each one has a digital line. Each one has a code, right? Each one has a microchip. And that's how mothership identifies you. Okay? So where do we go when we're in the center? When you're in the center, you come everything to the activation of ground line system of you now position, which is the present line conditions. So you start living everything through your thoughts of the future conditions. So you get everything you want through GPS, anything you want through all levels of your conditions of manifestations. Okay? So you know exactly that you'll be in the center because you see yourself in the center of everything. And the physical line will understand that it's no longer in the physical of its past, the present, or the future, but it knows it's in its now position to its connection, right? So when you start creating your own co-creation, then you come into your own imagination of manifestations of your reality, which is the presence. All right? But a very powerful question. Yeah. That's where you go in the center. All right. And then you go to higher positions of programs because that's where you are, Chris. You're starting to understand more and more and more and more and more, right? You're speeding across all levels now, which is fantastic because you're understanding more. Once you understand more, it gets more easier, right? So I just had the sensation of my spine magnetically pulled back behind me. Yeah. Yeah, that's vortex. Yeah, if it pulls back, you're going back to where you are from the beginning. Right? So it finds a way to take you back. You can't stay in position of the mind system on the mothership because every time you wake up in the morning, if I don't set codes for you guys, you'll be all in the mothership 24/7, 7 days a week. And everything that you see, you'll see computers and planets and spaceships, and it's like, whoa, Commander, get me off. I need to go to work. So you know what I'm saying? Codes have to change. I have to put you back in position. That's what I'm saying. You guys all have to have a foundation, which is the center of everything. All right. But see, now you understand more because you went into teleportation. Right? It gets a lot more easier, right? Because now you're in 50. Now you're ready for the test, review, and evaluations because I see it. Right? So fantastic stuff, guys. Great travel. Any questions or comments you have? You know, it's important to understand these things. But like I was saying, try to get more perception of travel, what you see inside of everything, not outside. So when you see a box, you don't look outside, you look inside. Then it's no longer a dream awakening. Then you come into your reality of the now position, which is the center of everything. Okay? So I'm just going to head over there now. All right? Adios.